Good morning, students. Welcome to our channel Easy Chem, and I am your chemistry ma'am, Sri Lakshmi ma'am. Today we are going to discuss about IUPAC nomenclature. It is the subtopic of your main topic, carbon and its compounds. Before going to this IUPAC nomenclature, first we have to discuss about hydrocarbons. Okay, first we have to discuss about hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons. What are hydrocarbons? Hydrocarbons. The name itself indicates hydrocarbon. The compounds which contains hydrogen and carbon are called hydrocarbons. The compounds which contain carbon and hydrogen, those are called as hydrocarbons. Okay. Hydrocarbon means the compounds which contains carbon and hydrogen only. Those are called as hydrocarbons. These hydrocarbons are divided into two types, basing on the arrangement of chain. Basing on the arrangement of chain, or basing on the chain type. Basing on the arrangement of chain, the hydrocarbons are divided into two types. The type 1 is open chain hydrocarbons. The type 1 is open chain hydrocarbons, and the type 2 is closed chain hydrocarbons. Closed chain hydrocarbons, that means the open chain hydrocarbons, the carbon atoms are like this in the straight chains. There may be branches present but not rings. Okay. In open chain hydrocarbons, the carbons attached to the carbon atom by the straight chains. There may be some branches, that means like this or like this, but not they are in the ring forms. These are called as open chain hydrocarbons. Then coming to the closed chain hydrocarbons, the hydrocarbons in which the carbons forms rings, that means like this. Here one carbon atom, other carbon atom, and other carbon atom. This is the cyclic. It is an example of closed chain hydrocarbon. Okay, and this is other one. This is also a closed chain hydrocarbon. Like this, we can write so many examples. The open chain hydrocarbons are also called as acyclic hydrocarbons, and the closed chain hydrocarbons are also called as cyclic hydrocarbons. Okay, hydrocarbon means the compounds which contains carbon and hydrogen. Basing on the arrangement of chain, the hydrocarbons are divided into two types. The first one is the open chain hydrocarbon. The second one is a closed chain hydrocarbons. In open chain hydrocarbons, there are the straight chains or there are the branches, but there is no formation of rings between rings. But in closed chain hydrocarbon, there is a formation of closed rings here. That's why these are called as closed chain hydrocarbons. These open chain hydrocarbons are acyclic carbons. These have the other name. That name is aliphatic hydrocarbons. What is that? Aliphatic hydrocarbons. Open chain hydrocarbons, acyclic hydrocarbons, and aliphatic hydrocarbons. This open chain has the two other names. First one is aliphatic hydrocarbon and second one is acyclic hydrocarbons. The cyclic hydrocarbons, the closed hydrocarbons have the other name, that is a cyclic hydrocarbon. This is about the types of hydrocarbons basing on the arrangement of carbon chain. Okay. Next, now we are moving to the next classification. Now this classification based on the saturation. Depending upon the saturation, the hydrocarbons are divided into the hydrocarbons here is both aliphatic and cyclic and acyclic, that means open chain and closed chain. The hydrocarbons, basing on the saturation, the hydrocarbons are divided into two types. The type 1 is saturated hydrocarbons. That means the hydrocarbons which contains only single bonds. only single bonds are called as saturated hydrocarbons. The next one is unsaturated hydrocarbons. These are again divided into two types. The first type is the compounds which having double bonds, and the second one is the compounds with the hydrocarbons which contains a triple bonds. And this type of hydrocarbons are called as alkenes. And the best example for triple bonded hydrocarbons are alkynes. Okay. Basing upon the saturation, the hydrocarbons are divided into two types. The first type is saturated hydrocarbons. The hydrocarbons in which there is only a single bonds. That type of hydrocarbons are called the saturated hydrocarbons. The best example for this saturated hydrocarbons is alkanes. The best example for the saturated hydrocarbon is alkanes. Next, unsaturated means there may be double bonds or triple bonds. Okay, best example for double bonded unsaturated hydrocarbons are alkenes. Best example for unsaturated triple bonded hydrocarbons is alkynes. This is about the classification. The first classification is based on the structure ring, based on the arrangement of carbon in the form of rings or in the form of open chains. Basing on the arrangement of carbon chain, they are classified into open chain and closed chain hydrocarbons. Basing on the saturation, the hydrocarbons are classified into saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons. Now we are going to discuss about alkanes, alkenes and alkynes. Okay. First we are going to discuss about the alkanes. A-L-K-A-N-E-S, alkanes. I already told that the alkanes means which contains only single bonds. Those are called as alkanes. Okay. The general formula for alkanes is CnH2n plus 2. The general formula for alkanes is 2NH2n plus 2. Okay, now if there is a one carbon number of carbon atoms and root word. Now I am going to mention here. For example, if there is a one carbon atom, we have to write the root word meth, M-E-T-H, meth. If there are two carbon atoms in the carbon compound, the root word is eth. If there are three carbon atoms in the organic compounds, in its root word is prop. 4 means its root word is but. 5 means pent. If the 5 carbon atoms are present, the root word is pent. 6 hex. 7 hept. 8 oct. 9 none. 10 dec. These are the root words for different number of carbon atoms in the organic chemistry. If the carbon compounds or organic compound contain one carbon atom, the root word for that is meth. If contain two carbon atoms, the root word is eth. 3 means prop, 4 means but, 5 means pent, 6 means hex, 7 means hept, 8 means oct, 9 means none. Next, 10 means dec. Okay. This is about the root word. Next, the general formula of alkanes is CnH2n plus 2. For example, consider if n is equal to 1, then what happens? Substitute 1 in the place of n. Okay, substitute 1 in the place of n in the formula of alkanes. Then what happens? C1H2 1 plus 2, that is CH4. This is the first member of the alkane family. CH4 is the first member of alkane family. What is its IUPAC name? How many number of carbon atoms are there? 1 carbon atom. So 1 means the root word is meth. M-E-T-H, meth. And this is an alkane. So we have to write A-N-E. Meth plus A-N-E, methane. For example, if n is equal to 2, then what happens? Substitute 2 in the place of this n. C2H2 into 2 plus 2. that is equal to C2H6. 2 into 2 4, 4 plus 2 6, C2H6. How many carbons are there? 2 carbons are there. What is the root word for 2 carbons? Eth, and it is a alkane, so you can write ethane. This is a ethane. This is the IUPAC name of this compound. Next, N is equal to 3. Substitute this N in this formula. C3H2 into 3 plus 2, that implies it amount manaki C3, 2 3s are 6 plus 2 8, C3H8. This is called as a propane. Like that, if you substitute N is equal to 4, then you get butane. N is equal to 5 in this formula, you get pentane. 6 means hexane. Up to the 10 means decane you get. Okay, substitute 1 2 3 4 in this in the place of N in alkanes general formula, you get successive alkanes. If you substitute 1, you get methane. 2, you get ethane. 3 means you get propane. Like that. Okay, this is the general formula for alkanes, and these are the members of alkanes. What is the first member of alkane family? Methane. The first member of alkane family is methane. It is very important bit. Okay, the first member of alkane family is methane. Okay, next we are going to discuss about alkenes. This is about the alkanes. Is it clear? Okay, note down. Next, pause the video, note down. Okay, next, alkenes. The alkenes means it contains which bonds? In alkenes there is a double bond. The general formula for alkene is CnH2n. This is the general formula for alkene. Okay, again in the previous like the previous time, N is equal to 1 means it gives C1H2. But here see, here what is the covalency of carbon? I told in the first video. What is the covalency of carbon? The covalency of carbon is 4. So, but here what is the how many? That means the covalency of carbon is 4, means the carbon can form 4 covalent bonds. But here the carbon can form how many covalent bonds? 2 covalent bonds. So it's octet. So it is not following the octet rule here. Okay. That means this compound is there is no formation of this compound because the carbon can form 4 covalent bonds, but here there are only 2 covalent bonds. The first member of alkanes is not methane. Okay, the first member of alkanes is not methane, and that too in alkanes there should be a double bond, but where is the double bond here? So there is no formation of methane in alkenes. Then what is the first member of alkene? The first member of alkene is ethene. What is the first member of alkene? The first member of alkene is ethene. Substitute 2 here, then what happens? C2H2 into 2. That means C2H4. What is this? Ethene. Okay, ethene. Next, because 2 carbons, the root word is eth. It is because it is an alkene. It is ene. Eth plus ene, ethene. If N is equal to 3, C3H2 into 3. That means C3H6. That means propene. If you substitute N is equal to 4 in this formula, you get propene. 5, you get pentene. Next, hexene, heptene. Like that. Okay. But there is no methane in the alkanes family. The first member of alkanes family is ethene. What is the first member of alkenes family? Ethene. What is the first member of alkanes family? Methane. Okay, you have to remember up to that. Okay, next, alkynes. Next we are going to discuss about alkynes. ALKYNES, alkynes. Okay, the general formula is it contains triple bond. Alkynes contains triple bond. The general formula is CnH2n minus 2. This is the general formula for alkynes. Okay, if you see here, in this also, if you substitute 1, then what happens? N is equal to 1 means then what happens here? C1 H2 into 1 minus 2, that is C1H0. So this type of compound also not exist. So in alkanes also the first member is not methane. Okay, there is no methane in the alkanes family. What is the first member of alkanes family? The first member of alkanes family is ethane. The first member of alkanes family is ethene, and the first member of alkanes family is ethine. What is the first member of alkane family? Methane. Remember these things. Okay, it may come in the exam. Okay, now n is equal to 2 means what we will get? C2 H2 into 2 minus 2, that implies C2 4 minus 2 2, C2H2. How many carbons are there? 2 carbons. It is an alkyne, YNE, ethine. Okay, next n is equal to 3, C3H2 into 3 minus 2, 6 minus 2, 6 minus 2 means 4, C3H4. It is propine. Okay, what is this? Propine. 3 carbons are there and it is an alkane, so it is a propine. So these are, if you substitute n is equal to 4 in this formula, you get butane. N is equal to 5, you get pentane. Like that, you can derive the number of alkanes here. So I am again and again telling this point. The first member of alkane family is methane. The first member of alkene family is ethene. The first member of alkyne family is ethine. You have to definitely remember this one. Okay, don't get confusion here. Okay, this is about the alkanes. Now we are going to discuss about homologous series. Okay, which is there in your syllabus. Homologous series. I will explain this with an example. What is the first member of alkane? The first member of alkane is, what is that? Methane. CH4. This is the first member of alkanes. Okay, the first member of alkanes is CH4, methane. The second member is C2, H2 plus 2, 4 plus 2, 6, ethane. Next C3, 6 plus 2, 8, C3H8. Next C4, 2 into 4, 8, 8 plus 2, 10, H10. This is methane. మీకు తెలుసు ఇంకా ఈథేన్, ప్రోపేన్, బ్యూటేన్. Now tell me one thing. Between CH4 and C2H6, అంటే between methane and ethane, the difference between methane and ethane, the difference of carbon atoms is 1. 2 minus 1, 1 carbon atom. Methane and ethane are differ by 1 carbon atom. And hydrogen, 6 minus 4. How many hydrogens? 2 hydrogens. 2 hydrogens. That means between methane and ethane there is a CH2 difference. And again this one is ethane, and this compound is called propane. Okay. How many carbon? These two compounds are differ by 1 carbon, and 8 minus 6, 2 hydrogens. Again these two are differ by 4 minus 3, 1 carbon, 10 minus 8, 2 carbon, 2 hydrogens, sorry. So the successive means after compounds. The successive compounds, the successive compound to methane is ethane. So the successive compounds are differed by CH2 unit. These type of series are called as a homologous series. I will tell the definition so you can easily understand that. Homologous series means homologous series. Homologous series. What are the homologous series? These are the homologous series. These are the series of organic compounds or carbon compounds. The homologous series are the series of carbon compounds in which the successive members are differed by CH2 groups. Okay, the homologous series are the homologous series in the series in which the homologous series is a series, isn't it? The series in which the organic compounds are differed by CH2 unit. The unit CH2 are called as homologous series. Okay, homologous series. This is the definition for homologous series. The series of organic compounds which are differed by CH2 unit are called as a homologous series. For example, if you consider alkene series, alkene, what is the first member of alkene? Already told you. What is the first member? Ethene. Yes, ethene is the first member. C2H4. This is the ethene. Next C3H6 propene. C4H8. What is this? Butane. The difference between these two is 1 carbon, 6 minus 4, 2 hydrogen, CH2 difference. Here the difference between these two is also CH2. Like the ways, the series of organic compounds or carbon compounds which differ by CH2 units are called as a homologous series. Here alkanes forms homologous series, alkenes are in the forms homologous series. Like the ways alkynes, carboxylic acids, all those forms homologous series. What is the homologous series means? These are the series of organic compounds in which the successive members are differed by CH2 unit. Successive series of organic compounds. These are the series of organic compounds in which successive members are differed by CH2 group. These are called as a homologous series. So I'll explain this with an examples. This is about homologous series. Now we are going to discuss about alkyl groups. Now we are going to discuss about which groups? Alkyl groups. How this alkyl group is formed. Next one is alkyl group. Alkyl group. I will explain this also with an example. CH4. This is called methane. Methane is nothing but a alkane. If you remove one hydrogen from methane, then what happens? CH3 is formed. CH3. This is called as a methyl group. Like the ways, if you remove an hydrogen from ethane, C2H6, ethane. If you remove an hydrogen from ethane, it forms C2H5 and this is called ethyl group. That means if you remove an hydrogen from alkane, it gives an alkyl group. Okay, what is the general formula for alkane? CnH2n plus 2 is the general formula for alkane. If you remove one hydrogen from alkane minus one hydrogen, then what happens? It becomes CnH2n plus 1. This is the alkyl group's general formula. So this is alkane general formula and this is alkyl group's general formula. Okay. If you the alkyl groups are formed by removing one hydrogen from the alkane. The so formed groups are called the alkyl groups. The general formula for alkanes is CnH2n plus 2. The general formula for alkyl groups is CnH2n plus 1. These alkyl groups are generally represented by the letter capital R. These alkyl groups are generally represented by the letter capital R. Okay. This is about the alkyl groups. Okay, the alkyl groups are formed when we remove a hydrogen from the alkane. So the alkyl groups are formed. The general formula for alkane is CnH2n plus 2. So what happened to the general formula of alkyl group Cn? We are removing one hydrogen. So CnH2n plus 1 is the general formula of the alkyl group. This is about the alkyl group. Okay. Next. Next is IUPAC nomenclature. IUPAC nomenclature. Actually, earlier scientists named the compounds based on their origin. For example, నేనేం చెప్తున్నానంటే మనకి ఫస్ట్ టైమ్స్లో ఎప్పుడైతే మనకి ఐయుపాక్ నామన్క్లేచర్ లేదో అటువంటి టైమ్స్లో మనకి సైంటిస్టులు ఏం చేశారంటే మనకి ఏదైనా వాళ్ళు ఒక ఆర్గానిక్ కాంపౌండ్ని కనుక్కున్నారనుకోండి, ఆర్గానిక్ కాంపౌండ్ అనే కాదు ఏదైనా ఒక కాంపౌండ్ని కనుక్కున్నప్పుడు దాని సోర్స్ బట్టి కానీ దాన్ని కనుక్కున్న సైంటిస్ట్ బట్టి కానీ వాళ్ళు దానికి నేమ్స్ ఇచ్చేవారు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చూడండి, HCOOH, దీన్ని మనం ఏమంటామంటే దీన్ని యాక్చువల్గా దీన్ని కామన్గా సైంటిస్టులు బిఫోర్ ఐయుపాక్ నామన్క్లేచర్ సైంటిస్టులు దీనికి ఒక నేమ్ ఇచ్చారు. ఆ నేమ్ ఏంటంటే ఫార్మిక్ యాసిడ్. వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ కామన్ నేమ్? ద కామన్ నేమ్ ఈజ్ ఫార్మిక్ యాసిడ్, కామన్ నేమ్. ఓకే, దీనికి ఎందుకు వై ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ as ఫార్మిక్ యాసిడ్ మీన్స్ బికాజ్ దిస్ ఫార్మిక్ యాసిడ్ ఈజ్ obtained from the red ants. In Greek language formica means red ant. So basing on this origin they are giving this compound the name formic acid. Like that, the acid which is obtained from butter, they call it as a butyric acid. So before IUPAC nomenclature, whenever the organic compound is discovered, the scientists give the names to the organic compound based on its origin, or based on that means how it's synthesized, or they give names of the scientists. Like that they allotted names to the organic compounds. అంటే మనకి ఐయుపాక్ నామన్క్లేచర్ రావడానికి ముందు సైంటిస్టులు వాళ్ళు కనుగొన్న ఆర్గానిక్ కాంపౌండ్స్కి వాళ్ళు దాన్ని తయారు చేసిన ఆరిజిన్ బట్టి, అంటే దాన్ని తయారు చేసిన పదార్థం పేర్లైనా కానీ లేకపోతే పదార్థం నుంచి వచ్చిన పేర్లను పెట్టేవాళ్ళు. ఇట్లా వాళ్ళడం వల్ల ఏమైందంటే మనకి కామన్ నేమ్స్ వల్ల యాక్చువల్గా మనకి ఆర్గానిక్ కాంపౌండ్స్ నాట్ 1 or 2, there are thousands and lakhs of organic compounds are there. So it is very difficult to remove that much common names because there are very huge number of organic compounds. So it is very difficult to remember those many names. So that the IUPAC, this is the abbreviation for this is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. This is the abbreviation for IUPAC. Okay, International Union for ఈ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ వాళ్ళు మనకి ఏం చేస్తారంటే దే రిలీజ్ ఏ సెట్ ఆఫ్ రూల్స్ టు నేమ్ ద ఆర్గానిక్ కాంపౌండ్. అంటే ఒక ఆర్గానిక్ కాంపౌండ్ని నేమ్ చేయడానికి వాళ్ళు కొన్ని సెట్ ఆఫ్ రూల్స్ని ఇచ్చారు. దాన్ని బేస్ చేసుకుని వీ హ్యావ్ టు నేమ్ ద ఆర్గానిక్ కాంపౌండ్. ఓకే, సో దట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఈజీ టు ఐడెంటిఫై ద ఆర్గానిక్ కాంపౌండ్. దట్ మీన్స్ యూ నీడ్ నాట్ టు రిమెంబర్ ఆల్ ద కామన్ నేమ్స్ because they are very huge number of organic compounds, so that it is very difficult to remember those many names. So what they did they gave some set of rules. If you remember this set of rules, then you can easily name the organic compound. So it is very easier than the earlier procedure. So we are following the IUPAC nomenclature nowadays. Okay, now what is this IUPAC nomenclature means? Generally in the IUPAC nomenclature mainly 5 to name the organic compound. The general structure of IUPAC name is structure of IUPAC name of a compound contains a root word. What it contains? A root word and a primary suffix, and secondary suffix. Okay, and it also contains a prefix. That means a primary prefix and secondary prefix. This is the most general structure of the name of organic compound. The name of the organic compounds contains root word, primary suffix, secondary suffix and primary prefix and secondary prefix. Okay, it is there is no need to have all these things, but it have some of these things. Okay, the IUPAC name of an organic compounds contains these many parts. Okay. Now, what is the root word? The root word represents the number of carbon atoms. I already told that for you. The root word represents the number of carbon atoms. So, for example, if there is a 1 carbon atom, you have to write the root word meth. If there are 2 carbon, you have to write the root word eth. 3 means pro, 4 means but. Like that, you have to write the root words basing on the number of carbon atoms. So this root word tells about the number of carbon atoms in organic compound or carbon compound. OC means organic compound. Okay, now what about this primary suffix? The primary suffix tells about okay, write down the structure first. Root word, primary suffix, secondary suffix, primary prefix, secondary prefix. Okay, the root word is tells about number of carbon atoms in the organic compound. The next one, the next we are going to the primary prefix. The primary prefix tells about the saturation of compound. The primary prefix tells about the saturation of compound. That means if the compound is saturated, that means it contains only single bonds. The compound is, that means it contains only single bonds. Then the word, then in the prefix you have to write N. In the prefix you have to write N. If it is unsaturated and it contains double bond, unsaturated means there are 2 conditions. It may contains double bond or it may contains triple bond. If there is a double bond, then the primary prefix is in. It is triple bond, the primary prefix is ein. Like that you write in earlier methane, CH4. Can rasaru methane. This is the root word and this is the primary prefix. Why we write methane? Because it is a saturated compound, it contains single bond, so we write N. So methane, this is the primary prefix and this is the root word. Okay, so the primary prefix tells about the saturation of the compound. If the compounds contain only single bond, the primary prefix is N. If the compound contains double bond, the primary prefix is in. If the compound contains triple bond, the primary prefix is ein. This is about the primary prefix. Okay, next, can I remove this one? The next one is secondary. I am sorry. Earlier I told primary suffix, not prefix. Earlier ఇందాక నేను చెప్పింది ప్రిఫిక్స్ అన్న కదా, ప్రిఫిక్స్ కాదు, సఫిక్స్ అని మార్చుకోండి దాన్ని. ప్రైమరీ సఫిక్స్. ఓకే, ద ప్రైమరీ సఫిక్స్ టెల్స్ అబౌట్ వాట్? The primary suffix tells about the primary suffix tells about saturation of the compound. The primary, ఇందాక నేను ప్రిఫిక్స్ అని చెప్పాను కదా, బై మిస్టేక్లో చెప్పాను, అక్కడ సఫిక్స్ అని రాసుకోండి. ప్రైమరీ సఫిక్స్ ఏం చెప్తుందంటే సాచురేషన్ ఆఫ్ ద కాంపౌండ్ చెప్తుంది, మిగతాదంతా కామనే. ఇఫ్ ద కాంపౌండ్ మనకి సాచురేటెడ్ అయితే ఏన్ అనే సఫిక్స్ని, అన్సాచురేటెడ్ అయ్యి డబుల్ బాండ్స్ ఉంటే ఈన్ అనే సఫిక్స్ని, ట్రిపుల్ బాండ్ ఉంటే ఐన్ అనే సఫిక్స్ని వాడతాము. దీన్ని సఫిక్స్ అంటాము, ప్రిఫిక్స్ అనము, అది నోట్ చేసుకోండి. ఓకేనా, నేను ఇందాక చెప్పింది ప్రైమరీ సఫిక్స్ గురించి. నెక్స్ట్ సెకండరీ సఫిక్స్. నెక్స్ట్ యు ఆర్ డిస్కసింగ్ అబౌట్ సెకండరీ సఫిక్స్. దిస్ సెకండరీ సఫిక్స్ టెల్స్ అబౌట్ ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్. అంటే మనకు ఒక ఆర్గానిక్ కాంపౌండ్లో ఏ ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ ఉందో ఎలా తెలుస్తుందంటే మనం సెకండరీ సఫిక్స్ ద్వారా తెలుసుకోవచ్చు. మనకి సెకండరీ సఫిక్స్ ప్లేస్లో మనకి ఏం రాయాలంటే ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ యొక్క నేమ్ని రాయాలి. ద సెకండరీ సఫిక్స్ టెల్స్ అబౌట్ ద ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్. ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఒక డౌట్ వస్తుంది, అసలు ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ అంటే ఏం లేదన్నా, వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ మీన్స్? సి the functional group is an atom. It is an atom or group of atoms. It is an atom or group of atoms which are responsible for the properties of the organic compound. ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ అంటే ఏంటంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ అన్ యాటమ్ కావచ్చు, లేకపోతే గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ యాటమ్స్ కావచ్చు. వీటి వల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే ఆర్గానిక్ కాంపౌండ్స్కి సర్టన్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ వస్తాయి అనమాట. అందుకే దీన్ని ఏమంటాం, ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ అంటాం. ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ ఈజ్ అన్ యాటమ్ ఆర్ గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ యాటమ్స్ రెస్పాన్సిబుల్ ఫర్ ద ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఆఫ్ ద ఆర్గానిక్ కాంపౌండ్. ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ విత్ అన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. For example, earlier I told alkyl group. Generally the alkyl group is represented by the letter R. Okay, I am taking an alkyl group here and I am taking an alkyl group here. Here I am attaching COOH group. This is a functional group and this is called the carboxylic acid functional group. Carboxylic acid functional group. This is called as a carboxylic acid functional group. If I attach OH to the R, this is alcohol functional group. Okay, here also R is there, here also R is there, but this compound has the properties different from this compound. Why this happens? Because here the functional groups are different. Here the functional group is responsible for the properties of the compound. This functional group OH is responsible for the properties of this compound. So what I am saying is a functional group is an atom or this is a group of atoms. This is also a group of atoms. A functional group is an atom or a group of atoms which are responsible for the properties of the organic compound. మనకి ఈ కాంపౌండ్కి ప్రాపర్టీస్ దేని వల్ల వస్తున్నాయి? ఈ ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ వల్ల వస్తుంది. సో దీన్నే కదా మనం ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ అనాలి. మనకి ఈ కాంపౌండ్కి ప్రాపర్టీస్ దేని వల్ల వస్తున్నాయి? ఈ పర్టికులర్ గ్రూప్ వల్ల వస్తుంది. అలా ప్రాపర్టీస్ మనకి ఏ గ్రూప్ వల్ల ఏ యాటమ్ వల్ల కానీ గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ యాటమ్ వల్ల కానీ వస్తే ఆ గ్రూప్ని కానీ ఆ గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ యాటమ్ని మనం ఏమంటామంటే ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ అని అంటాం. దిస్ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ ద ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్. So what I told about the root word and then primary suffix, it tells about the saturation. Next secondary suffix, it tells about the functional group. Okay, actually there are different suffixes for different functional group. I will tell it in the next session. I will tell it about the next section. Okay, this is the secondary suffix. The next one is primary prefix. It tells about whether the compound is cyclic or not. It tells about whether the given compound is cyclic or not. If the compound is cyclic, the primary prefix is cyclo. The primary prefix is cyclo. If the compound is cyclic, the primary prefix is cyclo. If the compound is not a cyclic compound, then you can omit the primary prefix. Okay, if the compound is cyclic, then the primary prefix is cyclo. If there is no it is not a cyclic compound, so that you can omit. That means you can leave the primary prefix. Okay, omit means you can leave it. Okay, next secondary prefix. The secondary prefix tells about the substitutions. మీకు ఇంకొక డౌట్ వస్తుంది, సబ్స్టిట్యూయెంట్స్ అంటే ఏంటని మీకు ఇంకొక డౌట్ వస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఈ సబ్స్టిట్యూషన్స్ అంటే ఏంటో ఇప్పుడు నేను చెప్తాను చూడండి. ఈ సబ్స్టిట్యూషన్ గురించి తెలియాలంటే మీకు ముందు ఒక ప్రయారిటీ ఆర్డర్ తెలియాలి. డిఫరెంట్ ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్స్ యొక్క ప్రయారిటీ ఆర్డర్ తెలిస్తే మనకి ఏది ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూపో ఏది సబ్స్టిట్యూయెంట్ తెలుస్తుంది అనమాట. ఇది ఎట్లా అంటే ఐ విల్ రైట్ ద ప్రయారిటీ ఆర్డర్ హియర్. ద ప్రయారిటీ ఆర్డర్ COOH అంటే carboxylic acid group is more prior compared to the anhydrides CH3CO2O, and this anhydride is more prior to the COOR group. I will tell, don't worry, I will tell about this functional group in our next video. What is the name of the functional group, what is its secondary suffix, and what is this primary what is this prefix, secondary prefix. I will tell all them in the next video. Don't worry about it. Okay, so this is the just you have to see. Okay, what is a functional group? To understand what is a functional group and what is a substituent, just you have to follow this priority order. Okay, don't worry about what is this name of what is the this functional group name, what is the functional group name. Don't worry about that. I will tell all of them in our next class. Okay, జస్ట్ సీ ద ప్రయారిటీ ఆర్డర్. నేను ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఎందుకు చెప్తున్నానంటే మీరు గుర్తుపెట్టుకుంటారని కూడా చెప్పట్లేదు. ఎందుకు చెప్తున్నానంటే మీకు ఒక ఆర్గానిక్ కాంపౌండ్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు అందులో ఏది ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూపు ఏది సబ్స్టిట్యూయెంట్ తెలియాలంటే ఈ ప్రయారిటీ ఆర్డర్ మనకు కొంచెం గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. ఓకేనా? COOH anhydride COOR అండ్ దెన్ COX యాసిడ్ హ్యాలైడ్స్ అంటారు, యాసిడ్ హ్యాలైడ్స్ అంటారు. నెక్స్ట్ CONH2 అండ్ దెన్ CN అంటే సైనైడ్ గ్రూప్స్ అండ్ దెన్ ఆల్డిహైడ్స్, కీటోన్స్ అండ్ దెన్ ఎమీన్స్, OH alcohol groups and then C double bond C alkenes, C triple bond C alkenes. This is the priority order. ఈ ప్రయారిటీ ఆర్డర్ మనకి ఎప్పుడు యూజ్ అవుతుందంటే ఏదైనా ఒక ఆర్గానిక్ కాంపౌండ్లో మనకి 2 ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్స్ ఇచ్చాడు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కన్సిడర్ దిస్ ఆర్గానిక్ కాంపౌండ్ CH3 CHOH CH2 COOH. ఇక్కడ మనకి ఇది చూసినప్పుడు మనకి ఇక్కడ దేర్ ఆర్ 2 ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్స్ హియర్. వాట్ ఆర్ ద ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్స్? OH ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ ఉంది, OH ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ ఉంది. అంటే కార్బాక్సిలిక్ యాసిడ్ ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూపు, అలాగే మనకి ఇక్కడ ఆల్కహాల్ ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి ఇక్కడ. ఇప్పుడు ఈ పరిస్థితుల్లో విచ్ వన్ బికమ్స్ ద ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ అండ్ విచ్ వన్ బికమ్స్ సబ్స్టిట్యూయెంట్. ఓకే, ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్స్ సబ్స్టిట్యూయెంట్ కింద యాక్ట్ చేస్తాయి, కాకపోతే అది ఏ పరిస్థితుల్లో ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ కింద యాక్ట్ చేస్తుంది, ఏ పరిస్థితుల్లో సబ్స్టిట్యూయెంట్ కింద యాక్ట్ చేస్తుందో తెలుసుకోవాలి మనం. ఇక్కడ మనకి 2 ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్స్ ఉన్నాయి, COOH గ్రూప్ అండ్ OH గ్రూప్. ఇక్కడ ప్రయారిటీ ఆర్డర్ చెప్పాను కదా, ఈ ప్రయారిటీ ఆర్డర్ ఒకటిసారి చూడండి. ఈ ప్రయారిటీ ఆర్డర్లో విచ్ హ్యాస్ ద గ్రేటర్ ప్రయారిటీ? COH హ్యాస్ ద గ్రేటర్ ప్రయారిటీ కంపేర్ టు ద OH. అంతే కదా, COOH హ్యాస్ ద గ్రేటర్ ప్రయారిటీ కంపేర్ టు ద OH. అంటే మనకి ఏ ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్కి అయితే ఎక్కువ ప్రయారిటీ ఉందో అది వచ్చి మనకి ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ కింద యాక్ట్ చేస్తుంది, మిగిలినది వచ్చి సబ్స్టిట్యూయెంట్ కింద యాక్ట్ చేస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు COOH OH దీస్ ఆర్ 2 గ్రూప్స్. ఇవి తీసుకున్నప్పుడు ఇందులో మనకి మోస్ట్ ప్రయారిటీ ఈజ్ ఫర్ ద COOH గ్రూప్. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ యాక్ట్స్ యాజ్ ఏ ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్ and this is acts as a substituent and this OH group acts as a substituent. ఓకేనా? మనకి ఏదైనా ఒక ఆర్గానిక్ కాంపౌండ్లో 2 గ్రూప్స్ని ఇచ్చినప్పుడు ఏది ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూపు ఏది సబ్స్టిట్యూయెంట్ అని ఎలా డిసైడ్ చేస్తారంటే ఈ ప్రయారిటీ ఆర్డర్ని యూజ్ చేసి డిసైడ్ చేస్తారు. ఈ ప్రయారిటీ ఆర్డర్లో ఎక్కువ ప్రయారిటీ దేనికి ఉందో దట్ విల్ బికమ్స్ ఏ ఫంక్షనల్ గ్రూప్, దేనికైతే తక్కువ ప్రయారిటీ ఉందో దట్ విల్ బికమ్ ఏ సబ్స్టిట్యూయెంట్. ఓకేనా? దిస్ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ your lesson UPAC nomenclature. Actually there are some part is also remained here. I will discuss that part in our next video. What is that part means? What is the secondary suffix? What are the different functional groups? Okay, what are the suffix for that functional group? What is the prefix for that functional group? I will explain that in the form of a table in the next video. Okay, that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe our channel so that you can get notification of my videos. Okay.